This is the second video of tax awareness program under taxguide.lk. The first video we discussed about the Social Security Contribution Levy Act, the original Act number 25 of 2022 and the first amendment to the Social Security Contribution Levy Act, that is Act number 15 of 2023. Now in this video we are going to discuss about the recent changes to the VAT Act and the Social Security Contribution Levy Act. Now this amendment to the VAT Act is the 22nd amendment to the VAT Act, and that is the first amendment for 2024. And Social Security Contribution Levy Act, this is the second amendment, and that is for the first amendment for the year 2024. So we will see what are the inside of these amendments and what are the things incorporated to the consolidated version of the Act. Now Amendment 1 is the Value Added Tax. Value Added Tax Amendment Act number 16 of 2024, certified by the Speaker on 20th March 2024, and the Social Security Contribution Levy Act Amendment Act number 15 of 2024, certified by the Speaker on 20th March 2024. Now when you look at the VAT Act, there are two changes. One is the rate change, but this rate change is not something new. It has been already implemented through the Gazette notification. We have been applying the 18% rate starting from 1st January 2024 because it has been incorporated under the Act Section 2A. The Gazette notification was issued. Now that has been incorporated to Section 2 of the Act. So they are from 15% to 18%, and the fraction is 9 upon 59. So I think you are familiar with the fraction. Fraction in the sense when there is an inclusive basis invoice, you have to use the fraction and get the VAT component separated from the invoice. So that is the reason for the fraction. So the change of the standard rate with effect from January 1st, 2024, effected through the Gazette notification number 2363/22 dated December 19, 2023, has been incorporated to Section 2 of the VAT Act. So this is not any confusions because this has been applying from 1st January. We will see the second one. Reduction of the value of the taxable supplies registration threshold for the registration for VAT. The present registration threshold is 20 million for a quarter or 80 million per year. So that has been amended with effect from January 1st, 2024. The registration for VAT arises if the total value of the taxable supplies exceed 15 million for the taxable period or rupees 60 million for the taxable period of 12 months or likely to be exceeded that amount. Likely to be exceeded. That means if you are aware of the fact that the supply value is going to increase to that amount, so you can't wait until such time that period is over. You have to come and register with the department. So that is a compulsory registration under Section 10. So requirements of the registration is effective from March 20th, 2024, and as per Section 10 of the VAT Act, the registration has to be obtained informing the Commissioner General of Inland Revenue within 15 days from the liability to registration. So once you realize that you have exceeded this limit or you are going to be exceeding that limit, that means you are 100% sure that for the quarter ending you are going to exceed that limit, then you are supposed to come and register with the department. Now value added tax is something you have to pay after registering. A registered person is an agent of the government to collect VAT on behalf of the government. So they are supposed to collect VAT either issuing tax invoice or issuing tax inclusive invoice. That is why this fraction is there. So therefore it seems that because this registration is effective from March 20th, 2024, in the sense that once the act is certified on March 20th, 2024, then if only after this date only registration will be effective. So therefore, it is 100% sure that will not applicable from 1st January 2024, because after registration is obtained only the VAT registered person can collect VAT. So already registered persons, of course, there is no problem. I mean the new registrants, they have to obtain the registration, but it is a mandatory registration if you have increased this threshold. So after March 20th, so that quarter will be over only 31st March, but by 20th March, you are normally aware of the fact that you are going to exceed that limit. So then, because by 20th you have some supply value, so then you are aware of the fact that you are going to increase that, exceed this threshold by 31st March. So then the obligation for registration, this 15-day, most probably it is applicable from March 20th, 2024, unless you are 100% sure by 31st March you will not be exceeding 15 million. Because if you are normal based on your supply value, you can guess that you are going to increase that level. Okay. So then about the Social Security contribution levy. Now there is only one amendment, because the rate change, of course there is no change of the rate 2.5, that is remain as it is. Now we will see the registration threshold. There the turnover, now for VAT we say supply, but here we talk about only the turnover. SSCL is only on the turnover. The turnover limit for registration has been reduced with effect from January 1st, 2024 as follows. For any period commencing on or after January 1st, 2024, not later than 15 days from the date on which the aggregate of the turnover for the quarter exceed or likely to exceed 15 million rupees. So for the quarter, now from January 1st, the quarter will be ended on 31st March 2024. So it says for a quarter or likely to be increased. So by 20th March, it likely to be increased. So then the registration requirement would arise. From the date on which the aggregate of the turnover for the period of consecutive 4 quarters exceeds or likely to exceed 60 million rupees. So then that is also the 4 quarters will be ended on 31st March, but this act was certified on 20th March. So, but they say it is effective from January 1st, but the registration requirement, it also says the effective date is March 20th, 2024. If the turnover for the period commencing from January 1st, 2024 exceeds the above limit, within 15 days from March 20th, 2024, the registration shall be obtained by persons liable to be registered. But because the requirement is ending after ending the quarter, if it is exceeding 15 million, or after ending 4 quarters exceeding 60 million. But having said that, it also says that 15 days from the effective date, the certification date. So there is a bit of an ambiguity, because sometimes, because not like value added tax, Social Security contribution levy is a tax which is payable by the seller. But normally, since it is also a tax on the turnover, they can pass it to the customer. So, but it is a liability of the seller. Because of that fact, there is a bit of an ambiguity whether they are supposed to pay from 1st January 2024. So my view is it is not so, because this amendment has been incorporated to Section 4 of the Social Security Contribution Levy Act. So I'll show it to you. So I have consolidated this Social Security Contribution Levy Act. The first amendment is 15 of 2023, that is in red color, and also this is 15 of 2024. I have used blue color, and also in this documentation, in addition to the consolidation, this documentation, what I have done is I have given the original position, and this is the way it has been substituted. So then you can see even originally, the registration requirement arises once you exceed the threshold 15 days after that. So the amendment of paragraph C has been incorporated to that. So therefore, it is, I don't think that anyone has to have an ambiguity whether SSCL is payable from 1st January, because it should not be, because it is incorporated to section 4 of the Act, and section 4 of the Act says the registration requirement. I think even though the tax is payable by the seller, still you have to have a registration to pay that tax. So then prior to registration, there is no way of paying, because after registering only you are paying. The registration requirement is from March 20th, 15 days. But actually, if you go to the provision, it says for any period commencing on or after January 1st, 2024, not later than 15 days from the date on which the aggregate of the turnover for the quarter exceeds or likely to exceed 15 million rupees, or for any date on which the aggregate of the turnover for the period or of consecutive 4 quarters exceed or likely to exceed 60 million rupees. So that means that quarter ending 31st March. But there is a condition likely to exceed. So by 20th March, everyone would be aware that end of the quarter you are going to exceed 15 million, or for 4 quarters will be ended on 31st March 2024, you are going to exceed 60 million for a year. So then that may be the reason that the department has put up a notification. That notification says registration for Social Security Contribution Levy for a person whose turnover exceeds 15 million for a quarter or rupees 60 million for a period of consecutive 4 quarters is applicable commencing from January 1st, 2024, and accordingly, that means this January 1st, 2024 for the identification of the turnover. It doesn't say the liability, it is identification of the turnover only that has been incorporated there, and accordingly such person who are not already registered are required to be registered not later than 15 days from the date on which date the amendment act on March 20th, 2024, not later than April 4th. So they are talking about April 4th, that is 15 days from March 20th. So maybe the intention would have been by 20th March, they are aware of the fact that it is going to be exceeded. If it is so, the 15 days would be over by April 4th. But other than that, the quarter will be ended on 31st March. But anyway, whatever it is, so there is no requirement to have requirement to be registered prior to that. So normally section 4 says if you are liable, you identify your liability, then register. So even previously, once you charge, you pay SSCL only upon registration. So there can't be any special rule now to pay from 1st January. So hope that department will clarify this matter from by another notice, because some are a bit confused, but I can't see any confusion here because it clearly says that the application effective date is March 20th, 2024. How can you go back and ask from January 1st? I don't think that would not be the intention of the government. But anyway, we have to see the clarity given by the department on this regard. So now I have consolidated this Value Added Tax Act and the Social Security Contribution Levy Act. So those are available in taxguide.lk. So you can view at any time, and also if you are interested, you can download it. So we'll come back with another video like this. Thank you.